This video is brought to you by Squarespace. For a website or domain, go to squarespace.com/Simon. Hey everybody, and welcome to a new video. Are you tired of seeing other people's social media posts with tack sharp images, whereas when you post your sharp photos, they come out as soft, fuzzy mush? I get asked all the time, your photos look so sharp on Instagram and Facebook. How do you do it? So in this video, I'm going to show you the results of my 10 photo challenge, where I posted 10 versions of the same photo on Facebook and Instagram, but with varying settings, pixel dimensions, file sizes, and sharpening algorithms, and asked my viewers to pick their most and least favorites. And I'm going to share the results, both best settings and things to avoid, with you so that you can post in confidence, knowing you have the optimal settings to retain your best image quality when posting to social media. If you stay for my bonus step, I'll share the embarrassing fact that I've been doing something wrong for the last several years. Ouch. But how to fix it with one click. So why are people having a problem with quality on social media in the first place? What are the processes that are going on that are messing things up? There are reputedly two factors that are at opposing ends of the spectrum at play. One, because it saves space on its servers and speeds up downloading times, social media platforms like Instagram and Facebook will compress certain images that are too large. The reason large files are a problem is that resizing your images smaller and compressing them is messing up your sharpening according to our usual understanding. That's because sharpening algorithms are very sensitive to resizing, compression, and scale. Your programs like Lightroom have very sophisticated models to sharpen images that include scale, micro versus large scale contrast, and the pixel dimensions of various features. Basically, it finds the edges and changes the contrast to make them pop more. Resizing or compressing a photo changes all of these, and after this, your photo should be resharpened again on the new dimensions. But in some people's experience, Facebook and Instagram are either not resharpening the photo themselves, or their resharpening algorithms aren't very good. The supposed solution is load the photo in a dimension that's not larger than the maximum, so that the social media platform won't resize it. For Instagram, this is 1350 pixels on the long edge, and for Facebook, this is 2048 pixels on the long edge. When I say long edge of what? That would be the longest side of a vertical photo. For Facebook and Instagram, 4:5 aspect ratio in vertical format is the best way to get the most real estate covered on your photo. Taller gets the tops cuts off, and wider gets you a thin strip of photo that no one can see the details of. As such, I recommend 4:5 vertical on Facebook and Instagram. So we have an upper limit. Anything bigger than those will get compressed down. But what about a lower limit? When we load a photo at smaller pixel dimensions than those figures, those platforms won't resize or compress it, but you've loaded a photo with less resolution and detail than the eye can resolve and the platform will allow. So you're not putting forward the best photo you can. In short, less than the maximum resolution allowed is also a problem. So the corollary to all of this is if you post larger than those maximum dimensions, your photo will be squished, and if you post smaller than that, you're not offering the viewer the best resolution. But is this true, and can people tell the difference in real life? That's what we're going to find out. Let's look at my 10 photo challenge and go over each of the other variables at play. Here's a photo of a leopard I photographed with the new 24 megapixel Canon R1 in Botswana. I was using the Canon RF 600mm f4 lens, so the photo is tack sharp to start it with. A good baseline. If you want good results, you need to start with a sharp original. And you may be asking, why did I ask other people to compare these photos rather than do it myself scientifically? The reality is that how I look at photos and on what devices I use is quite irrelevant. We're studying here the real results our viewers see, and their devices, screen sizes, resolutions, lighting conditions, and brightness of devices are all over the map. Let's interpret those results as seen in real life. So I made 10 copies of this photo to post on Instagram and Facebook. Let's go over the variations. Photo 1 was my baseline using settings that I regularly use and I know work well on Facebook, using their maximum pixel dimensions. I exported at 4:5 using Lightroom Classic, JPEG image format, sRGB color space, resizing to 2048 pixels on the long edge. Resolution doesn't matter for the web. Sharpening for screen, standard. Photo 2 was using the same settings other than choosing the pixel dimensions that are supposedly optimum for Instagram, that being 1350 pixels on the long edge. Photo 3 was posting in a lower resolution than what is allowed, giving up some resolution, 800 pixels on the long edge in this case. Can people on a phone looking at a small physical size tell the difference? Photo 4 was posting the photo in the largest resolution that I had, the original, at 3,550 pixels on the long edge, which we know Instagram and Facebook will compress. Will that trash my photo? Photo 5 was the saving hard drive space version, still at 2048 pixels on the long edge, but with the file size getting cut down to 500 kilobytes maximum, coming out at 427 kilobytes, only 20% of the original 2048 pixel size of 2.2 gigabytes. Does a smaller file have less detail or enough for people to notice? Photo 6 is what happens when I send my photo through Facebook Messenger. Some people use this to send a photo from their computer to their phone so they can post it from their phones. I sent it to myself in Messenger and posted the received photo for this test. Photo 7 was the same, but sent via Gmail, not as an attachment, but in the body of the email. Some mail programs will compress the photo before sending it. What about Gmail from a PC? Photo 8 was the same as 2048 pixels on the long edge, but no sharpening in the export panel. Photo 9 was to take the original size photo in full resolution, same as Photo 4, but use the Instagram and Facebook tools during the posting to crop the photo to the same field of view as the others. And Photo 10 was the amp it up version, where I applied lots of extra contrast and clarity in Lightroom using the sliders and used the high setting in sharpening. Would this make the photo better or overdone and crunchy? I'd like to thank the sponsor of this video, Squarespace. I've been using Squarespace, including making my own website, and it's been super easy and convenient. It's an all-in-one solution for my business, allowing me to showcase my work, sell products, and even keep my email distribution list to help engage customers. Electronic commerce is now easier than ever with more ways to pay, like credit card, Apple Pay, Klarna, and even buy now and pay later with programs like Afterpay. The latest innovation is design intelligence, using AI to help you curate your own build and helping you through the steps of building your site to the best available standards, but personalized to your specific needs. Go to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/Simon for 10% off. Okay, so let's go through the results of my 10 photo challenge. I'll break these down by Facebook and Instagram as the results could be different. Let's start off by looking at Facebook results. Note that Facebook differs from Instagram in that when you click on an image, you get a higher resolution to load. For my 10 photo test, people had to click on the photos and this got them to see the best resolution available. Also to note, many people, especially on phones, couldn't tell much of a difference, but those with large monitors usually had the top answers accurately picked. The top result on Facebook for best looking photo by a wide margin was number 10, the amp it up version with added contrast, clarity, and sharpening using a 2048 pixel image. This isn't a surprising result, as doing this can make images look more saturated and pop more from the frame. This is actually a common challenge though for professional photographers, as there's a bit of a game on social media of who can crank the sliders farthest right, and seeing lots of attention to super oversaturated images with red and purple skies and so on. Some people did mention that they found the number 10 photo over contrasty and sharpened. The choice is yours. Do you want to get more attention or have a more accurate image to present? There are no right answers, only choices. Second place was the one that technically met the best conditions as for what we know. Image number 1 with 2048 pixels on the long side, the largest resolution that Facebook will allow without compressing your photo. Turns out the advice I've been giving in recent years was accurate for Facebook. The worst or last place version was number 3, the 800 pixel lower resolution version. It seems that people could indeed see the lower resolution difference and the lesser amount of detail and sharpness shown as a result. And the second worst was number 9, not far behind. That's the one where I uploaded a full-size image and used the Facebook cropping tool to crop the photo for me. Clearly, that tool isn't the way to go. From this, we can clearly say that posting to Facebook in 2048 pixels on the long side is the clear resolution winner, and that adding some sharpness and clarity for artistic taste is another option that people seem to like. The only bad choices here are posting a low pixel count photo and using the in-house cropping tool. Interestingly enough, none of the other options were obvious deal breakers and can be done without disaster. That includes no sharpening on export, over-dimensioned pixel files, smaller 500 kilobyte file sizes, and sending photos through Messenger or Gmail before posting. Interesting. Now let's look at Instagram results. The top result for best looking photo was again number 10, again by a wide margin. The rationale would clearly be the same, more pop and extra sharpness. Again, a few people thought it was too much. I'm kind of in that camp myself. I like photos to be sharp yet soft, but clearly folks like a punchy photo. Second place for best photo was by a not even close margin over the others, image number 2, the one with the exact pixel dimensions for Instagram, 1350 on the long side. That is clearly the way to go. The worst or last place result was number 3, the lower pixel count photo, and that by a wide margin again. And the second worst was a toss-up between uploading in 2048 like Facebook, using the Instagram app to recrop an oversized photo, or no sharpening, the latter seemingly being a bigger issue on Instagram than on Facebook. What's the takeaway here? It's that exporting your photos in the exact maximum resolution for Facebook of 2048 pixels on the long edge and 1350 for Instagram is indeed the way to go if you want the maximum benefit available. It also shows that definitively a lower resolution photo will look worse on those platforms and should be avoided. But the amount of sharpening, being oversized in pixels, or having smaller file sizes as long as your pixel dimensions are still large, aren't deal breakers and don't have a large penalty. You can do these if they still work for you. And I promised you a bonus tip. I've been doing something wrong for the last few years. Years back, I experimented with a lot of pixel dimensions for Facebook and Instagram. My conclusion at the time was that the 2048 I was using for Facebook worked just as well for Instagram, even knowing that the max was 1350 on the long edge or 1080 on a square. People were regularly complimenting me on my image details in Instagram, so why change? So I've been using this for the last several years. But I've been making a mistake. This test clearly demonstrated that 1350 pixels on the long edge is better. Darn it. I like not having the extra steps to export a second version of my photo for Instagram. But you know what? I have a one-click solution. Just set up your favorite settings, like my new proper Instagram settings, and here on the left, hit Add, and voila, a new preset called Instagram, and when I click on it, all my favorite Instagram settings are there. Ta-da! If you want to keep improving your photo processing and see some Lightroom tricks to rescue lifeless images, I have a whole video on that, which you can see right here. Give this video a like, and if it was deserving, I hope you can use these tips the next time you're sharing your pics so that people can see the best of your own unique and amazing photos. I know you can do it.